Good afternoon, everyone. I just want to inform you that we are doing another session. And like I said before, we're doing the sessions quite short so that you can plan your data management and you can plan your day as well. So you can log in whenever you can and you can view it when you are available. So you are never absent and you are never late. So first of all, I would like to share my screen and then introduce the session. Now, what you are currently viewing is how to get started. And how to get started informs you about knowing your curriculum and the next step for you. And in that way, we are all on the same page and you are able to proceed and you know what is expected of you. Now, remember your option that you selected is that you will be studying on your own, but while you're studying on your own, we will be able to provide you with certain information that you need to complete, your sections that you do need to complete. Now, first of all, to get started, you need to know the curriculum that you are going to write next year. That curriculum actually then becomes your checklist. And that checklist is how you are going to gauge your progress going through the entire year until next year, April. You will be starting to write in May 2022. Now, the curriculum, like a checklist, is almost like a tick-off list for you that you must print, and that is what you need to look for before getting started. Using the curriculum as a structure, you will be able to complete a study timetable, and that study timetable, you will be able to plot and plan for your future. The timetable will keep you on track as you are moving forward. Next, I'm trying to tell you what is an appropriate study method. What are you supposed to do? First, you need to remember that you are going to study according to the SQ3R method. Now, if it's something new, you might have received this in life skills and life orientation before. But if you haven't, I'm going to quickly explain to you how this is the best method to study for a long-term test that you're going to write next year. So SQ3R is an acronym for what the following means. S for survey, Q for question, R for read, R for recite, and R for review, right? And that is what you are going to do. Whenever you tackle a new chapter, whenever you tackle a new topic, it doesn't matter what the subject is, you can apply this there. So the first thing you are going to do is survey. That means you are going to gather information to formulate your goals. In Afrikaans, jy gaan lees en kyk totdat wat jy werk sin maak. Tweede, secondly, question. That means because you are going to write an exam, you're not going to be studying because you're just studying to get through the work. You must study in a question and answer format. In that way, you are training yourself to get back into exam format. Now, if a question, for example, is 30 marks long, give yourself 1 minute per mark. In other words, if something is an essay type question, you need to break it down so that you have enough time to finish it. If it's short questions, 1 or 2 minutes per question. 1 minute because you can just quickly check what it is that the answer, if it's true or false, because in that case, it's a quick answer. But for longer, 10 and up marks, you need to plan so that you don't get stuck and focus on that same question, but your time is running out, and in that way, you are going to not be able to finish. So, study in question format, in Afrikaans studeer in vraagformaat. Next part, read. Read a topic 3 times. you know you need to read, so you can check yourself and you can say, okay, I've read this 3 times, I still understand. Or I've read this 3 times, I don't understand. By reading, you get a good understanding. Next, you try and say what you've been reading. And by saying it, you are training your brain to think without looking at the paper. And in that way, you are trying to memorize, right? You're taking the information from the short-term memory to the long-term memory. Dit beteken jy sê dit hardop. And then you are going to review. Now, when you review, this is when you must take your pen and you write down what you remember. By writing it down, your eyes is seeing what you are saying, and in that way you are transferring the knowledge into long-term knowledge now. And that's very important. So you need to make sure that in that phase when you are writing down, that you write it down according to headings, according to questions. You would ask, what are the 3 levels of government? You would ask yourself, list the 3 facts. You would formulate a question, and those questions you actually get in the curriculum as well. Okay? Hints and wenke. This is what it is that you need to know so that you don't, so that you have success in what you're doing. Write neat and write a bit bigger while you're studying, because remember, sometimes you want to study a bit later at night, and if your words are too small, then you're going to struggle. Also practice. Some of us don't all write the same, but you need to remember you're not writing for yourself now. You're writing for a marker who's going to read your work and mark your work. They can't be deciphering how you write. So you need to practice that while you are studying. Write in a book, not on an exam pad, because sometimes the exam pad's pages breaks loose. Those folios, it can go missing and then you can't find your work. When you are satisfied that you understand your work and that you have revised, that is when you go and tick it off on the curriculum page like we said in the previous session. Move on only after you have followed the SQRRR. The SQ3R, you follow that steps, I promise that you will be able to understand a chapter. If you don't follow the steps, like you don't wish to write something down, then you're going to have something missing, and that is when you're going to be struggling, because you will then have to redo that whole section because you didn't do it properly. Okay. Write down and test yourself. Now, how do you test yourself? All these question papers that I'll be sending you. It's going to help you to see how they have asked that section of the work previously, and that is what's important to you. And then study to understand that has positive long-term effects. But if you study parrot fashion, it's short-term. Okay? Hand in a study plan to me. You can hand it in to me. And in that way, when I speak to you, I can ask you, okay, you said you would be done. How is things going? And you will say, Colin, this is what's happening with that. And then we can see how we can help. Okay? But you need to stick to what you say. You must make a commitment as what we are committing, and you can see the effort that is going into getting you started. That's the same effort we want to see, and it's not going to be a night before the time. It's going to be a process where you're going to study now, and you will know your work by the end of the year. By the end of the year, you should have gone through everything already. Okay, now to test the chapter knowledge, find a question paper. And find that heading in the question paper in a past exam. And then from there, you write a mock exam. It's almost like an exam that doesn't count, but you are testing yourself. You set a timer, you set a watch, you set a clock, and you know your paper, it stands on the paper there. This paper must take 2 hours. And then how are you going to mark this paper? You then have the memorandum. The memorandum is the answers. Then you take another color pen and mark your own work. In that way, you are independent, and that way is going to be the way that's going to push you through. And then, like I said there in Afrikaans, I say it again, an old question paper, ou vraestel, wys jy die tipe vrae wat gevra word, moenie papegaai studeer nie, studeer om jou werk te verstaan. And that is it, another session done. I said under 10 minutes, a quick segment of the work. And in this way, we are helping each other, and I'm helping you to get started in a proper way where you feel that you are supported. You are welcome to contact me. You have my number, and we have our study groups. You might as well contact me if there's any problems. So thank you. Have a good day further. And this will be available as always on YouTube and on Classmate as well. You have many options to choose from. Good day.